afternoon. How are you? Are you guys okay with this service? Does it work for you? Isn't it too late? All right. All right already. Let's be fair. Is anyone we have to warn people. Is anyone visiting for the first time? I'm not going to embarrass you. Just raise your hand. Okay, right here. Anyone else? First time? Okay, so these poor people who are visiting for the first time will not have a clue of what's about to happen. But every year, these precious people go out all over the place, wherever they're at during the Christmas season, sometimes even out of Christmas season. And when we see each other, because we're trying to reclaim Christmas back, right, in our culture, they shout Merry Christmas. So it's been a blast. Literally, everywhere I've been going, Costco, Home Depot, Albertsons, Safeway, it's been amazing. So, ready? 1, 2, 3. Merry Christmas back. It's awesome. Hey, you guys, I want to encourage you about the whole Christmas vibe and feel and spirit that's coming up on the 16th at 7 o'clock. You saw the announcement, right? It was just the visual, where we have never before here at church had a orchestra and a choir group. And so John Burroughs convinced me, just let me do it. We can do it. I said, John, what are you going to need? Oh, cellos and violins and trombones and singers. And I said, where are you going to find these people? Well, he found them, and it's amazing. And I've snuck in and I've listened to a rehearsal or a practice, and I'm blown away. Because some of you, by the way, I know you, and I never knew that you are a bass player, for example. Or whatever your craft is. I didn't know, but boy, it's impressive. So here's what I'm asking you to do. If you would designate, that's a Friday, right? The 16th? If you would just dedicate that evening to come on out and bring the kids, bring everybody, just come and make it part of your Christmas experience. We need to get more and more in the spirit of it all. And by the way, that would really encourage them that if we pack this place out, because they've worked so hard. And it's exciting. So mark that down if you would. Real quick, also this, a little bit of a background before you see this. They are still in some areas concluding the election votes, if you can believe it. Crazy me, I come from a world where there was voting the same day, and by the time you went to bed, you knew who was who. But apparently those days are gone forever. But a little bit of background is you are aware, are you not, that the state of California is responsible in this last election for flipping the House Congress in Washington, D.C. Are you aware of that? And it just keeps happening. A slide or a headline on the news. This happened Friday night, you guys. This happened Friday night. And here's the reason why it's great news. Is I'm no fan, as you know, of the Republican Party in California. No fan of theirs. And they know that I'm not a fan of theirs. So I'm not endorsing the Republican Party. There's people in the Republican Party that are right on. But not everybody. But here's what's cool about what's going on. Here's another one that's going to be heading out. John Doherty is going to be heading out to Washington, D.C. And the ones, listen, the seats that have been flipped or won, those are pro-life seats. And isn't that amazing? Pro-life. And so California, you're not hearing much of California in the news nationally. And that's by design. Because what's happened in this last election has shocked, yet again, the United States. California's red save, they're calling it, not red wave. Red save. GOP scores unexpected wins in Golden State despite national failures. That's remarkable. California now is being talked about a lot, but not in the news. The news is avoiding it because it makes a certain party that likes to kill babies look bad. But we're very excited about what's happening. And it's because good people have decided to get involved. And you need to know this. because you guys led the way, is that as these results have come, and they've been analyzing all this stuff, I got a call, a contact, got a hold of me on Thursday or Friday, I forget, and there was a meeting on the East Coast, and they were discussing the results of what's gone on in America, and they were talking about California, and they were saying, what in the world's going on there? This is just what's happened. How did we miss this? Think about it. How'd they miss it? Nobody campaigned here. So what's going on? So they feel like they missed it, and they did, but those of us in our local elections, remarkable results. And so I just feel really happy about that. And I'll give you the reason why real quick. This is just between us. So many people do not know because they didn't publicize it, but when President Trump was in office, he had a faith advisory group. See, what is that? It was a group of people that he would ask questions of regarding issues like we were always asked regarding life, regarding corporal punishment, regarding the border. He wanted to know, what does the Bible say? Are there Bible verses? Is there a chapter? Is there something regarding this particular argument that's going on? Which is remarkable, I mean, think about it. I mean, he's Trump. He's rough around the edges. He's bombastic. He comes into a room and he's just his presence is disruptive in the sense that he can't be controlled. He's just different, and that's why he's an iconic developer. And so we were briefed. We were called into the White House, and there was just a handful of us guys sitting in the Roosevelt room. You've all heard of the Roosevelt rooms, dedicated to Teddy Roosevelt. And we're in the Roosevelt room, and we're having a conversation, discussion, and President Trump walks in. But you're told before you ever go to the White House, if you see the president, you don't speak to him. This is the presidential protocol. You don't talk to him unless he talks to you. And you don't interrupt, you don't do anything, you don't speak, you just be. That's it. So we didn't expect to talk to him. We were having a meeting. And the door flies open, and we're sitting down at the table. It's an amazing table if you think about it, because it's a small room. And Trump walks in, and he's talking about all the amazing thing that's happened in Iowa and Michigan. He's mentioning New York and the amazing stuff in Wisconsin. And this is what's going on in Colorado. And he's talking about all these states. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, yeah, he ought to know what's going on in California. So Trump sat down at the table. Our good friend, Tony Perkins, was standing against the wall behind Trump. And I've known Tony for almost 20 years. And so I said, Mr. President. And Tony goes. And Trump kept talking. I said, Mr. President. And he said, what? And I said, California. And he goes, California is lost. It's corrupt beyond repair. And I said, don't forget California, because it has hit such bottom that even in places like Bel Air, people are changing their vote because they're not safe anymore. And people are tired of what's going on. We're taxed out of our lives and all this stuff that's going on. And so he goes, so you think I should campaign in California? I said, if anyone's going to win California, it'd be somebody like you. And he said, well, and he starts talking. He just goes off and starts talking about other states, gets up and walks out. And then Tony goes, what are you doing? Nobody does what you just did. Nobody. CNN does it, and protesters do it. And you. And I thought, I'm going to get audited by the IRS now. Ugh. So I cried all the way back home. And I sat down. That was a Thursday, and I was preparing my message for Sunday. And on Saturday, I got an email from the White House, and it said, welcome to the team. The president enjoyed your input. And so the point is this. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. So here's the cool part, is Californians, independents, Democrats, and Republicans are saying, you know what, we need to stop killing babies. And we need to get back in control of our government as we the people. We need to have the final word, not politicians. And so we're very excited about that. And so now everybody's calling us, and everybody wants to talk, and everybody wants to find out, how did you guys at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, legally produce almost 14,000 votes, ballots in this last election? More than any other single church effort in the entire United States. God bless you. All of you. Remarkable. Let's stand. Let's stand. Romans chapter 7. Romans chapter 7, you guys, we're in a message titled, So When You Thought It Was Over. Just when you thought it was over. You ever hear those kinds of words? Just when you thought it was over, this happened. And